Hey, Rise and Shine, Seattle Kraken fans, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. Glad to have you guys along. Got a couple people in the chat already. Thanks for being here. Wonderful Saturday morning. This is the first Morning Cup of Kraken for Season 2 of your Seattle Kraken. As we head into the fall, grab your coffee, grab your tea, frappuccinos, maybe even your French press. I think my buddy Jim out there likes to use his French press. I can't figure those things out. But I've got my coffee. I'm ready to roll. Let's settle in. Let's chill for this live edition of Morning Cup of Kraken. We got Anders Holcomb there saying she made it. Oh, wait, not she. Anders. Doesn't matter, he or she. Anders is here. Ty Jacobs is here. We got Paul. And of course, our wonderful guest today, Alicia Crank, is here, your ambassador chair for Seattle Women's Pro Hockey. Can't wait to get rolling, guys. I'm going to try to catch you up on everything going on with the Kraken today. Help you get your weekend started right. It's beautiful out there. Sasquatch NHL, Mike here. Follow along on Twitter. Also, a reminder, I got the podcast rolling now on all the platforms. So go over there, rate, review, like. Just appreciate the support. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe button here over on YouTube while you're watching. Really appreciate the support. And it helps me keep bringing you guys content. So in either case, I'm really glad you're here listening, watching. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. Looks like we got Cody saying happy training camp to all. So thanks a lot, guys, for jumping in this morning. Really grateful for all the support. So today's edition, let's get to it. I've got a great guest along. She's ready to jump in. So let's get to it. Everybody, please welcome my friend and local legend, I would call her, Alicia Crank, right? She is kind of coming off a whirlwind, a little bit of a whirlwind of travel and such lately, right?
I have. It's been such an interesting couple of weeks, but I don't regret a minute of it. But I do have my ginormous cup of coffee.
Excellent. So you're kind of getting woke up with the rest of us here, right? Cheers.
Absolutely. Cheers.
So you're fresh off of your trip to Las Vegas, correct?
Yes, it was so much fun. So what ended up happening is a friend of mine and I flew out on Wednesday to go see Diana Ross in concert at the Wynn. It was her opening night. So we took a quick flight out of Paynefield Airport and got there in time to check in, change clothes, and go see her. It was fantabulous. If you go on my Twitter feed, you will see all the photos and the videos we took. And then got back last night. So whirlwind 48-hour trip, but it was so much fun, but exhausting at the same time.
Yeah, like you were saying before we logged in here, kind of a good exhaustion type of feeling, right?
Exactly.
Paul checking in here from Kennewick, Washington. So Paul, thanks for joining in.
Hey, Paul.
Like I said, it's a lot of fun to have everybody jumping in the stream. Ty's here, by the way, Vancouver, Washington.
On Vancouver.
Sometimes Mike from Fort McMurray will log in. I don't see him today, but that's all right. You know, we've got good representation across the Kraken Nation, right? So it sounds like you also had a big event last night, that the Edmonds Center for the Arts Gala, right? Yeah.
So like I said, as soon as I stepped off the plane, came home, changed, and like 45 minutes later, I was at that event. Supporting the local arts and, getting dressed up and seeing my people. And yeah, I'm tired now, but I love doing this kind of stuff. It's so fun. And there's a lot going on in Edmonds. So it's not the sleepy town that many people may have thought it was back in the day, because it was, but it's not that way anymore.
Yeah, I remember as a kid coming through Edmonds and thinking, oh, this is a cool little place. But yeah, it's definitely grown up a lot, as I've grown up a lot. Probably more than I want to.
And it's a foodie town. It's a lot of great restaurants here. So yeah.
We actually come through there a lot because we travel over from the peninsula out here to see family and stuff over on that side. So yeah, we're through Edmonds quite often. But so in addition to all the things kind of happening recently, I think you did have a job change, right? In the last it's been 6 months or so?
Oh God, it feels like it, but much shorter. So July 1, I started a new role as executive director of an organization called Seattle City Club, but it goes beyond Seattle. It's really a regional nonprofit that focuses on civic engagement and civil discourse. So we try to talk about, topics that are affecting everyone throughout the region. And we try to make sure to have different voices from different sides of the topic to be there and talk about it. So it's been that type of thing has been a passion of mine for years. So it's kind of a dream job to be able to do it for a salary.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But to also be, as we call ourselves, passionately nonpartisan. So we try to make sure all voices are represented in a civil manner.
I think that's super important, especially now when it kind of feels like there's a lot of division just culturally, I think, in our country and such. But I think that's awesome. Congratulations, if I hadn't said it already. But
no, you have. Thank you.
Okay, so I have to ask, right, as the ambassador chair here, Seattle's women's pro hockey effort, do you have any updates or anything to look forward to? Keep that momentum building here.
No, thanks for asking. There's a ton going on, obviously, leading not only into the Kraken's, second season, but also even just during the summer, early spring. We've been doing a lot of different things to try to bring more light to the sport and to be able to bring a professional hockey team to Seattle. I think there's a lot of buy-in from the higher ups to try to make it happen. So hopefully it'll happen sooner rather than later. So we're still building our fan base. And if you follow us, great. If not, start following on Facebook and Twitter. It's Women's Pro Hockey Seattle. I'll say a couple of things that we do have going on. Probably the biggest thing that people know about the most is the U.S. Women's and Canada Women's national teams, the rivalry series that's coming to the CPA on November the 20th. I know I have a suite. Women's Pro Hockey Seattle also has a suite, so we're tag teaming. But we also have a few seats left in our own section at the CPA. So if people want to join us, just go on our socials and find out more information about that. And then we're actually going to have a giveaway this week. So one of our organization's sponsors, CC Crispino, who I adore for a few different reasons, but mainly because he is also an Edmonds resident, like myself. But he is donating 4 tickets for us to give away to the December 28th game against Calgary.
28th, you said?
Yes. So December 28th, there'll be 4 tickets that we're giving away. But you got to be following our socials to be a part of that. So yeah, we're keeping busy.
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm going to mark all that stuff on my calendar. Make sure you guys do as well if you're watching or listening here. You said the 28th, and then also was the giveaway for the 28th, and then you had the suite coming on the 20th. Is that
20th of November? So the rivalry series, yes.
Awesome. That sounds awesome. I'm really excited for it. I'm kind of looking forward to watching, like I said, seeing that momentum build. I know the first time we talked, you kind of said it was maybe a 2 to 3 year out there for trying to get a team here and such, but I think it's great. You got to keep these things going. Got to keep the eye on the ball, so to speak, or the puck, I guess in this case. Right?
Well, I will say, I think we're still in that same time frame. It just looks way more promising now than maybe the first time we talked. Yeah, I really appreciate that the fan base and the professional organization has been really supportive of women's hockey in general. They've held a few events over the last season to promote that. That's been super helpful. So looking forward to seeing more of that happening.
Yeah, it's always
and
great.
Also, I want to give a quick shout out to all the people who also participated in ordering our jerseys. You can probably see a piece of mine in the back over there. But we did a special on those recently, and so many, women and girls signed up and, started showing off their jerseys on social. So the momentum's growing. It's exciting.
I think it's good when you've got an ally like the team in the organization kind of pushing things forward too, because I would imagine that's not the case in every market. You would hope so, but I think it's great that we've got it going here in Seattle. Ty mentioning, the 28th is my last day being 34 years old. So... Ty's officially in his mid-30s, young guy. I don't feel bad for you. By the way, Ty has been working on getting his pilot's license. I don't know if you checked that on Twitter, but
nice.
Supporter, contributor on the show here sometimes. Proud of him. Excited to see where that goes. Cody also saying we support our women's sports. Hope we can get a team and show people how successful they can be. So absolutely. I feel like that momentum is, definitely there, and people are dialed in and feel the same way about it. It's kind of opened my eyes a little bit over the last couple of years, watching more of the WNBA and being aware of some of the different professional, the women's hockey leagues, and just kind of getting a little bit more involved myself, trying to put that effort in and realize that there's work to be done. So I think it's good. We got to keep it going.
Doing things like this definitely helps, Mike. So thank you.
Hey, absolutely, all the time. That's kind of that's what I want to do here on this channel. Spread the love and keep things moving forward. So let's talk about kind of coming back into Kraken season, starting up here preseason. Just Monday we've got a preseason game. Can't wait to get back in there. Right? Isn't it great? Kind of get in there, that game night. That feeling and that that smell when you go into Climate Pledge Arena. I think it's the Big Chicken Shack, the chicken sandwiches that I smell when I go in there.
Yes.
But what's kind of your what's kind of your CPA routine when you go?
Well, so I'm so excited for preseason. I'm going to the game on October the 1st, and I'm taking my adoptive dad. He hasn't been to the CPA or to a game yet, so he's super excited to go with me. What is my routine? Well, I actually love the section that I have my season tickets in. I'm in a season ticket group. So we're in section 104, and I love section 104 because it's easy in and easy out. And Shaq's Big Chicken is right next to our section. Our section. So it's like super easy to get to as well. First, it's picking out which jersey which sweater am I going to wear, because I have a home and an away. So
I've got to get another one. I'm trying to figure out who I'm going to get next, because I want to get one of the white sweaters.
Yes, I have my white one. You can't see it in the screen now, but I have it hanging up as well. And so I figure out which number am I feeling? If I want to do my 25 or my 74, that I'm gonna rock, and then I make sure that I'm like getting all my stats together. I usually try to tag in to DJ Trunks on Twitter. And see what kind of music he's going to have hyped up and ready for us to play.
Definitely.
And then I just get in there and, just do my kind of rotation around the arena, kind of see what interesting things are going on. And one of the great things about this too is I always run into somebody, that I know. And I think it's such a huge arena and there's so many people, but there's such a connection that's grown out of this fan base that, either people know me directly or we know each other from social. And it just feels like it's some kind of friend reunion every time I go to a game. So I'm always kind of on the lookout to see who I know or who knows me and kind of see where we are.
Yeah, I definitely can relate on that feeling as well, because in for the games that we went to last year, like you said, it always seems like you're running into somebody or even meeting somebody new. I got to meet a broadcaster that, I was a longtime fan of growing up, Scott Oak. He works for Hockey Night in Canada, and, not like one of the big out front names, but he's been doing it for years and years. And for me, I'm not actually a journalist or anything like that, but a lot of respect for him and what he's done through the years, and, kind of growing up watching the different personalities and stuff on TV. So that type of stuff too. And there's, like Mike Benton, he's always there, and you see the guys up in the press box, but, people that we know or are familiar with, and, like the Sound of Hockey guys, you can always see one of them, or Brandon 32 Crew. So it's just really fun to kind of have that community, that aspect to the Kraken games is really cool. DJ Trunks, actually, it sounds like if things go well or go right, gonna have him on the show later this season. Hopefully, kind of have some plans in the background.
Great,
But, yeah, really excited for that. So maybe just looking at the schedule here, do you have any dates? I know that's hard to see, but we'll talk about the theme nights too here. Any dates in particular? Maybe I'll just switch to the theme nights here. It's a little easier to see that. But any special dates that you're looking at?
I just want to say first, I appreciate that they have all these different theme nights. You just don't see that across, the organizations. So thank you, Kraken, for doing that. I would say probably the three that stand out most for me is, Hockey Fights Cancer Night, mainly because I'm a 2-time cancer survivor. So
right.
it's nice to kind of, know that that's being recognized, and we need all the support we can get. Even once you beat it doesn't mean that it's over, right? There's still a lot that you're dealing with. And so it's nice to see that. The 218 game, which is the Black Hockey History Night, for a number of different reasons, but probably the one that stands out most, other than what might be obvious, is that it's another Red Wings game.
Right.
That's my number one.
Oh, I know.
And it's a very close number two, but I grew up in Hockey Town. They're the ones that got me into this sport. So I think last year was the same thing, or it was Women's Hockey Night. That was a Detroit game. So love that. And then the 3-7 game, which is the Women in Hockey Night, for again, obvious reasons. And I actually realized I actually donated my tickets to a fundraiser for that night, because I didn't know what the theme was. I just,
they hadn't
picked
established
one of my
them yet.
games. Yeah, so I donated those to actually a woman judge. So that makes me feel good that it went to her. Yeah. But I'm probably going to pick up a couple of pair anyway, so that I can be there for that night. But all of them are great.
I was just popping
Kate.
up. Caitlin's here.
Yeah,
I was just popping some comments up. Thanks for joining the stream.
When we go together to Kraken games, they win.
Really?
It's a proven fact.
You guys are just like undefeated. There you go.
So yeah. So if we run into each other, it's not the same thing, but when we go together, they win. So we know we have a strategy going into this season.
I think you guys are just going to have to go to every game then that's at home. Maybe even on the road too. Can we arrange that? Maybe get the 32 crew to rally behind that. But
we'll make it happen.
Paul also is saying, he got to meet Brandon, 32 crew. So yeah, it's
Brandon
great.
Is awesome. He's super awesome.
So yeah, thanks again, guys, for kind of jumping in here, commenting. I think for me, we usually try to go to that, the Veterans Remembrance Night. And I think I wanted to go to the Indigenous Peoples Night last year and we weren't able to, but I'm going to see if I can make it to that one this year, because of the theming and the artwork and everything was really cool, I thought. But anyway. So.
I want to try to make it to the Lunar New Year one too. That's actually the event that I donated my tickets to, was for the Lunar New Year fundraiser that's going to be happening in Edmond. So I feel like that's another complete the circle moment. So
for sure. Definitely a lot of cool theme nights. So check them out if you haven't already. Caitlin saying again, twinning, just saying. It's great. Okay, so it's definitely, we're moving into fall here, right? So I thought that we could talk a little bit about, what are your plans for fall? I know you're a huge fan of candy corn, right?
Mike, why are you doing this to me?
I gotta keep you on your toes.
It's wrong. It's evil. It should be obliterated. No.
So I'm actually excited this year, because I didn't start doing the channel and stuff on YouTube till like February of last year, right? So this year I'm kind of planning on doing some decorating for the different live streams and such, like maybe get some Halloween stuff, and then maybe Christmas stuff and all that, so that's kind of, I'm a dork like that, but yeah. But
we all have our dorky moments. I'll let you have it with candy corn if that's your jam, but yeah. You can have any share that comes to me.
Oh, okay. I don't even like candy corn. I was just trying to get you off a little bit on your trigger, right? So, okay. So, have you ever been over to like Leavenworth or Oktoberfest or any of that?
I want to, but can I just tell you, again, maybe it's because I grew up on the East Coast, is that every time I hear Leavenworth, the first thing I think is prison.
Oh, right.
And I know over here, so when I hear someone saying that they're going to Leavenworth, I instantly think, why are you going to a prison? And I realize, oh no, it's this really beautiful place in Washington State. So maybe this season I will try to get up there. I just need to find a couple of people to go with me. As much as I love solo traveling, I feel like that's one of the places that you have to go with a friend.
Ty, right in front of me here. I swear he's like my editor or writer sometimes, because I was just about to move.
How do you know that was going to be one of the questions, Ty?
Yeah, he knows. Ty's actually been helping because we got the trivia battle coming up too. He's been helping kind of in the background, write some questions and contribute. So I got to give Ty an official title as a contributor here. So maybe like editor in chief or something like that. But yeah, so let's talk Kraken. Obviously, that's kind of why we're here. I just wanted to do a quick show this morning, 20 or 30 minutes, but figured we'd spend the last 10 or so here talking Kraken. We've got some headlines kind of coming out of training camp so far. There's not going to be a captain announced, it sounds like. So we'll kind of go into the season. I did a video about that last week and kind of hedged towards a younger guy being named if they wait longer, but we'll see how that goes. I guess, it kind of looks like Matty Beniers and Shane Wright are looking pretty good early. We also saw the report that Riker Evans was paired up. Emerald City Hockey reported this, that Riker Evans was paired up with Adam Larson. So that's kind of interesting. Young guy with an older guy. Kind of going to get a good opportunity to step in the lineup. We've got Bjorkstrand now in the mix. Burakovsky coming over through free agency. Bjorkstrand through that trade. So maybe, who's on your watch list? Who are you kind of excited about going into season 2?
That was a really good question. I was trying to, narrow that list down because there's a lot of good ones, right?
Yeah.
But then I was like, okay, who are my instants? And of course, Maddie's at the top of my list, coming from Michigan, right? So I have to, look at my Michigan person, and he's been doing such a great job, and I really see a really good future for him. But I think this season is going to really be the one that lets us know exactly what he's going to be capable of. So I'm going to be looking out for him. Obviously, Shane Wright's at the top of that list. So is Fergus Circus,
Right?
I think he's going to be really fun to watch. I'm not going to go statistically speaking, but I just feel like just seeing him in, some of the snips I've seen in training camp and what I've been reading about, I think he's going to be really entertaining, for lack of a better word, to kind of see what he brings to the team. And maybe also Riker Evans. And I got to admit that the first time I was kind of drawn to him is just because of his name as a Star Trek The Next Generation nerd, about Riker. So I was like, okay.
See, I get to be the decorations nerd. You'd get to be the Star Trek nerd. That works, right? Okay.
So those are the ones that are kind of standing out for me right now. And I'm excited to see what they do this season.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm really excited about Shane Wright. I've got big expectations for him, but I don't want everyone to heap them onto him too soon, too fast. I'd like to see him make the lineup and kind of get his feet wet a little bit, maybe some third line minutes as he gets comfortable. Don't just throw it all on his shoulders. And obviously they're smart in the organization. They're not going to do that. Ron Francis has a pretty good track record of, developing younger guys. And I think this will be no exception. I think they'll do just fine with these younger guys coming up and mixing them kind of with the veterans and, the guys that have experience. But interesting stuff. Also, again, Emerald City Hockey reported this from training camp. You saw Burakovsky on a line with Winberg and Donskoy. Donskoy kind of wanting to have a little bit of a bounce back year. There's history with the line matchup there. I think they were on a line together in Colorado. So that's going to be kind of interesting, right?
I agree. And so, like I said, I think overall, I like that they have, more younger, fresher people coming into the team. But I also do like the mentoring, if you will, like you were alluding to earlier, of having, a more older seasoned person paired up with a younger person. I think that's good synergy. I think that's a good way to kind of balance out their individual talents to complement each other. So I'm hoping that that's what translates on the ice.
I like this comment. Jagger is a special player, but that boy needs a sandwich. Yeah, I mean, he's not the biggest guy. Honestly, a lot of the guys that went in the first round, they weren't, these aren't big guys. I wouldn't say, but yeah, definitely. Jagger Fergus he's a little bit smaller in stature, but he's quick. He's got that elite, snipe on him. So kind of like you said,
that's why I said I think he's going to be entertaining to watch because of that.
Yeah. What do we got here? Oh, Ty wants to see the new Lego in the background.
Oh.
Yeah, we talked about this too.
We did. So again, I know this is an organized chaos that is my home office, but it all makes sense, I promise. But yeah, so when I get a time to kind of relax finally, one of my things will be to put together this Lego, which is the Nintendo series.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Oh, it's heavy, but I gotta tell you, I was going for the Atari one, but I got this one because it has a crank, and my last name is Crank, so I felt like I had to get it. So I will be building this in the near future. But the other one I have that I'm also going to build.
Ooh,
Optimus
the Transformers
Prime.
one.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So I am super excited that these are going to be my two projects that I hopefully finish before the end of the year. So
yeah, I feel that's my projects too. I'm like, oh, I can't wait to do this, and then I get distracted with other stuff that's way more important.
But the other fun, I mean, the fun thing about it too was two things. One, there's this this family friendly beer hall, I shouldn't call that, but Bridget's Bottle Shop in downtown Edmonds, and there's a bunch of us that get together on Sunday afternoons for Lego Sunday. So that's kind of where my new hobby started with that last year. But the second thing too is that, it's a time to not look at a computer screen or a phone screen.
Yeah, that's very important.
And I was like, oh my God, just to take a couple of hours at a time and just focus and do something that's playful but again, you're not like staring at a screen or anything like that. You can just be focused on one particular thing. And in our multifaceted, multitasking society, sometimes it's just nice to stop and just do one thing.
Yeah, kind of unplug and get back to some like tactile, hands-on type of entertainment or hobby. It's very true because like I mean I work on computers, and then a lot of my hobby type stuff is also on computers. So very important. I get out, I do a lot of yard work and such, so I call it yard therapy, but it's really important to get off the devices and stuff like that. It's just constantly, social media, et cetera, but no, that's great. I think that's really cool. Do you have any other special sets or anything like that you're looking to grab, or are you just going to stick with those two?
There's one more. Even though I said I wasn't going to spend any more money on Legos this year, because I spent a lot, almost as much as I spent on Kraken stuff. I do want to get the new the upcoming Black Panther one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
So that comes out October 1. So I have my coins set aside, ready to hit the purchase button on October 1 to get a couple of those, and then I'm done for it. Then I am absolutely done for the year.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll check when we check in again. I'll see if that's if you held to that or not. Okay.
Yeah. So even that Harry Potter one is a Lego, actually.
Oh.
The one that's hanging in the background. Yeah. It's actually a 4-for-1. So you buy the kit, and it's just a little peg, so it's not the Lego blocks. And then you build that, so that's Gryffindor, obviously. But then I could take it apart and do any of the other 3 shields as well.
Okay. So it's kind of, you can reconfigure it and such.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, this is the great part about this segment. We can talk about whatever we want to, because obviously, it's Kraken themed, but I'm actually really interested in the Lego stuff too. So hopefully the viewers agree.
I'm sure they need to do a Kraken Lego series.
All right, yeah. I mean, Ty seems excited about it too, so I'm not too worried about it. Anyways. Okay, so getting back to the Kraken a little bit, I guess. We talked about, some of the young guys, maybe some of the potential line pairings, even though it's way too early for that, obviously. But the first preseason game's Monday. We do kind of have a crowded forward group, and I think Brandon alluded to this on Twitter from 32 Crew, kind of listed out the guys he thought was going to make the roster and who would not. But we might have to say goodbye to somebody that we love, right?
Yeah, let's hope not. Depends. But I mean, I know we have to be realistic at the same time. Is there anybody you think might end up we have to say goodbye to?
Well, so I know like Daniel Sprong came back on a PTO, and I didn't really view it as anything other than, and I think I did tweet this. I said I think I kind of viewed it as more of a gesture than anything. I don't think he's going to end up in the lineup, but he's kind of having a really good camp so far. It sounds like he's scoring a lot and playing pretty intense, but I don't know. I think Cole Lind, unfortunately, young guy, he's kind of on the border, and you've just got this depth of left wing talent. They're going to be able to move guys between center and left. You've got Donato coming back now, which was kind of a question going into summer. So I don't know. I'm really excited. I think it's always a little bit tough when you kind of fall in love with some of these players on the roster. And then, maybe they have to depart or go elsewhere. We kind of saw it through year one at the trade deadline, right? When we lost Gio and so on and so forth. Caitlin, going back to Legos real quick, says, you need a Kraken Lego set. I would completely agree with that assessment. Where can we get them, though? That's my question. But anyhow, so the
Lego's got to sanction them, so they got to make that happen.
Oh, that's right.
It's got to be licensed. But to your point about, not falling in love with the players, right? And I think that was one of the reasons why, even in the first season when, the sweaters were coming out and people were trying to get certain ones, I was like, I don't want to do it because what happens when they're gone or if they don't make it through the whole season? And exactly that's what happened with Gio. And I know so many people got that jersey. They wanted, that's because not going to get rid of the captain. Captain's going to be around, right? So, nothing's guaranteed and no one is safe. And I think that's why I made sure to get, just my own personalized ones to start. And then hopefully in the next year or so, when you see that longevity, you go, okay, I want to invest in a particular, player's, sweater. But until then, I'm just going to love from a distance,
right.
But embrace the entire team at the same time.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of future-proof the first sweater I bought. I got, Brandon Tanev, and he's got a longer duration of a contract. Cody's pointing out here, Sprong and Tanev are similar players offensively. Tanev does more defensively, so Sprong's probably on the go. And that I think that's just one reason that Sprong probably won't make the lineup, but that's, again, just opinion from me and speculation, etc. So we'll just have to see what happens. But and nothing against Daniel Sprong. It's just for every team that goes through a camp, Seahawks, Mariners, blah, 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 they have to make these tough decisions, right? So, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend buying a sweater before the season starts. In some cases, I think you'd be pretty safe with McCann at this point. He just switched numbers and he locked in his extension just last spring. So Cody also saying I need a Donskoy jersey to give him some good juju, good energy for the season, right? So he's definitely looking to have a bounce back year. But yeah,
make it happen, Cody, and take a picture. I want to see it.
Yeah, Ty saying it sucks for some of our faves from last year to sit, but it's because of the level of skill that's gone up quite a bit this year. And that's a great way to look at it. Like, yeah, we are going to have to say goodbye, but as the team kind of gets better and better, you have to, again, make those tough decisions and move forward and be more competitive in the division and then hopefully in your conference, try to make the playoffs at some point. But yeah, I don't know.
I need us to get to the playoffs this year.
That would be great.
I need. I didn't say when. I just need them to be there. Just be there.
I want to temper those expectations just a little bit because I feel like it needs to be another good developmental year, right? But yeah, I'm right there with you. I would love to see a push.
This first round, I'm not asking to get to the finals. Just get a taste of it.
And it's not like our division is. I mean, our division has lost a lot of good players too. I think like San Jose potentially could take a step back. We'll have to see with them how things start out. I know I've talked with Shalana Goldman here on the channel. So a lot of transition there. Vancouver, kind of a question mark. We'll see which way they're gonna go. I don't really know. Obviously, you've got some change in Vegas. Robin Lehner's gonna be out. Max Pacioretty got sent out of town. They have cap issues. And then you've got the big boys up top. Edmonton and Calgary going to try to keep their footing after losing Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk. So a lot of change in the division, right? So let's look at the. Go ahead. Yeah, sorry.
I was going to say one thing. My brain. I'm getting old, so if I don't say what's on the top of my brain when it comes out, I lose it.
No, that's
but
fine.
I'm going to tell you, as someone who visits Vegas a number of times a
Mm-hmm.
year. This was the first time, this most recent trip, this is the first time that I didn't see a lot of, Golden Knight energy.
Oh, interesting.
I'm usually like confronted with it in a good way. Like it's usually like it's buzzing, it's just all this stuff that's happening. And now that I think about it, this particular trip, barely.
Maybe
and,
that.
And I wonder why that is. I wonder if there's a little bit of people just not really happy.
Maybe
with,
that
some of
new
the
shine.
decisions.
That new shine's kind of worn off a little bit.
Yeah. I just thought about that. I was like, man, like I don't think I saw anyone walking around in the dirt, nothing. Even in 90-degree weather, they will still be, rocking the gear. And
Yeah.
I'm thinking now, and I was like, I don't remember seeing any of that.
So it sounds like, maybe just the vibe has changed a little bit down there. I guess that's understandable. There have been, some question marks with kind of their approach to, salary cap and signing players and such. Like they kind of had to go all in because they had so much success early, but now they're trying to manage the salary situation. And, Pete DeBoer just got fired. So, yeah, I definitely, you see it on Twitter too, some of the criticism and just unrest, I guess, with Vegas fans. But yeah, if they don't have a good year, things could get really interesting in the desert. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, good insight there, because I haven't been to Vegas since like February, and we were just there for a quick like 3-day thing, and I didn't really get out in the community a whole lot. But yeah, interesting to kind of keep an eye on that. So preseason starting Monday. Are you going to be able to make any of the preseason games at all, or just? Yeah,
I'm going to the one on Saturday.
Okay.
On October 1. So I'm geared up and ready to go. I'm excited.
Awesome. I'm going to be out there on Tuesday, and I think that's it for me for the preseason. But I
do want to give a quick shout out to. I think there's a couple of people that are watching right now that are volunteering to participate in the 50-50 raffle stuff that the Kraken has started up this year. So fan base is really excited about that, and so shout out to those who are volunteering their time and energy to support that.
Absolutely. Also, another little news item here: the food drive, right? That's happening out at training camp. So, partnered with Starbucks there. They're inviting fans to bring out canned food items if you're headed out to training camp at all. Like Alicia said just now, the other news there. Oops, sorry. So yeah, food drive. Also have 32 crew giveaway happening Monday.
Yes, Brandon.
Right?
Yes.
So, and I believe Jerry Davis donated tickets for that. So shout out to Jerry. That's pretty awesome. They get some fans in the door, and a little cross promotion there for the 32 crew and their Patreon, trying to do some great things in the community and give tickets away, once a month. So great organization. I get to be a fan, and part of that, and also kind of do my own thing over here. So that's cool. But anyhow,
I love how this fandom has really come together. It's unlike anything I've ever experienced in my other fandoms in my 40 plus years of life. But speaking of their Patreon too, like I love the thought behind it. I love, Brandon's initiative and the people that are contributing to it, whether they're contributing content or donating things like tickets like this. I did the same thing. So I'm donating 2 seats in my suite for that rivalry series game in November, as part of that. Because like I said, I love seeing how this fandom supports one another. It's really great.
Yeah, and I think, some of the collaborations and crossovers and such are kind of starting to happen. That's awesome between the channels and the groups, and I think it's good. Everybody's got to kind of, rally together, keep building the Kraken community up, and I don't know. I feel like we have a lot of good momentum going, and it's just going to get better and better, right? Yeah. Going into season 2, I'm really excited. Alicia, it's been an absolute pleasure, as always, to have you by. Going to kind of wrap up the stream here. Maybe if you have any last shout outs or announcements you'd like to throw out there. But again, thank you for being here. Anything on your mind here as we head out?
No, just thanks for even thinking of me to be here. Sometimes I'm just thinking I'm just out there doing my own thing and not thinking about anything else. And then someone's like, hey, this is cool that you're doing this. And I'm like, great. So yeah, shout out to my twin, Caitlin, and the rest of the 32 crew. Brandon, thanks so much for bringing this all together. Nerdy Mike, all those fun guys. And, it's just anyone that's just, learning about the fandom. Shout out to, those that are supporting, Women's Pro Hockey Seattle, and any Black Girl Hockey Club as well. I just love the intersection of it all. So it's wonderful. And one more thing, I actually got to do something really fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing this video that the Kraken is putting together. I don't know what it's all encompassing of, but all I know is that I got to have some one-on-one time with Davy Jones last Sunday as part of it. So adorable dog. So that's awesome. And he's gotten so big. It's insane. So
I think I remember seeing the picture now on Twitter, right?
So that was a lot of fun. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing the finished product.
All right. Well, we'll keep our eye out for that. Do you think it'll come out on their socials? Like
I would think so. Or maybe they're going to do it at one of the games first. I'm not sure. So I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. I'm going to be on the lookout for it.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that and looking forward to it. Obviously, looking forward to Kraken preseason kicking off on Monday and then the regular season. October 12th, they start on the road. But again, thanks a lot for being here, Alicia. If you just want to log off in the background, I'm going to kind of wrap things up. And
bye, everybody.
We'll talk again soon, okay?
Take care.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Okay, so that was a lot of fun, and I appreciate you guys jumping into the stream. I'm going to wrap things up here. Just a couple of reminders before we go. And there's a couple other people here in the chat. We've got Becca Everts wearing her Women's Pro Hockey Seattle sweater to the Tips game tonight, so that's great to hear. Becca, thanks for dropping by the stream and weighing in the chat. Cody saying thanks for the work. Absolutely, anytime. Love doing this for you guys. Like I said, a couple of reminders before we log out here. We do have that trivia battle coming up. We did set the date, October 5th. We've got Emerald City Hockey. The guys over there, RJ and Dylan, are going to face off against Jeff and Joey from the Kraken Pod, formerly known as What Lies Beneath. So make sure you set that up on your calendar. Save the date, mark it down. Should be a lot of fun. We're going to go live about 5 p.m. Pacific time for that, Wednesday, October 5th. So would love to have you guys along. As always, I really appreciate all the support. If you want to listen over on your podcast apps there, I've been putting a lot of these shows now onto the platforms over there. So if you want to rate, like, follow, that's great. Also, I've got post-game rapid reaction coming back again this season. I don't do it every game, but I do it for as many as I can that my schedule allows. So we're going to kick things off, do a little bit of get back to that here on the 26th for the first preseason game. And as the show evolves, I love having you guys along. So hit subscribe, hit like, and keep coming back. Turn on alerts for the live streams. That's going to do it for today's stream, guys. Another great Morning Cup of Kraken. I'm really glad to have you here for it, and I look forward to doing more for you guys. We'll catch you again on another stream here real soon. Have a great Saturday.